This is the Milo Sweet Podcast, where you'll learn to get unstuck. Start now. Conquer life's challenges by learning to do difficult. Find quick and clever ways to overcome. Wait, did you think life was going to be easy? Remember, all of your excuses are now dead to me. Let's get started. Guess what time it is? It's time for you to hit the subscribe button and find just 1% that you think will benefit from this. But if you're feeling a little generous, right? Or you're super free with your time right now, probably doing nothing because you're listening to this. Well, maybe if you're doing something, actually just make yourself free right now. Hit subscribe. What are you waiting for? Hit it. Come on. Hit subscribe. Welcome to the Milo Sweet Podcast, Kim. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's hear a little bit about yourself.
Well, yes, thank you. I am Kim Eldred, and I'm a certified public accountant and a Ramsey Solutions Master Financial Coach. So I help people discover a life of financial freedom.
What does that even mean? How do you know if you're not financially free?
Well, I think you're probably experiencing a lot of stress related to your finances. Perhaps you're having arguments with your spouse and things are just not coming together. You have that financial frustration rather than the financial peace.
So can you help me if it's really my spouse that's the problem and I'm not the problem? Do I need help or does my spouse need help? How does that work?
Well, I would want to meet with both of you. I need to coach both of you because your finances impact both of you. So how does that look? Do you need to be changed? Does he need to be changed? Well, we all need to be changed. And I learned a long time ago, early in my marriage, that I'm not going to change him. So perhaps I need to look at my heart first. But just even in looking at my heart and my finances, I can then determine how I can approach my husband and discuss it with him. And yes, I've been there, done that, and we've grown in that area.
I think that's really helpful. That was a trick question. That's just for the audience out there. A lot of times we hear information and we think, I don't need that. He's the one or she's the one that needs to change. And the truth is, it really is just more of a communication, setting up processes and systems that's really going to help you win in your marriage, in your future. So what are some signs that people can look for to let them know they are not financially free?
Well, I think when you spend too much time thinking about how stressful it is, or perhaps you don't spend enough time thinking about it. But some signs are lots of debt, overspending, spending more than you earn, perhaps buying a car with credit rather than waiting or getting a less expensive car. Those are some of the signs that you just do not have peace in your finances.
I love that. You know, I usually say one of my signs, and I'm not a financial coach, but I just feel like I want to say it because, well, it's my podcast, is crying at night. You ever hear of those stories of so I have friends that have come to me crying at night because they're like, I don't know if we're okay, but I'm scared to talk about it with my spouse, and I'm scared. I think fear or just of not even knowing, right? Yeah. If we're okay, you could totally be okay, right? But you don't even know if you're okay. That's kind of scary.
Yes, fear is a big factor in life, and it has to be put down. We can overcome fear with a plan.
I love that. A plan. Who would have thought? Sometimes when I'm afraid, the act of actually writing a plan actually scares me because you're I don't know if I want to know what's actually happening. But here's the thing, right now, it's sink or swim. So there's no option 3. Those options are no, and figure out a plan, implement a plan, do a plan, and wake up next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, in a really good place. Or you won't make it. So what are some budgeting tips that you can help people with? What are a couple of things people should have top of mind right now?
Well, first of all, you kind of mentioned it. You do want to do this together with your spouse if you're married. You want to schedule a time on your calendar to meet together once a month for that budget meeting. Now, some people like me love that idea. And then there is my husband who thinks that that's just crazy, but he does cooperate. But you're going to typically have that in a marriage. We're going to meet about what? Oh, and the other person is so excited about me. So, but we have to schedule that. And if you're single, you still need to do a budget, that plan. You might even want to find an accountability partner to look over your budget each month, just so that you have someone who can lift you up and encourage you in that. Or perhaps you want to find a financial coach like me. But again, that's the first step, to make sure you have that appointment on your calendar and make it happen. So
I think that's really important.
Yes, it is. We schedule so many things. We schedule when we're going to watch a television show or listen to a podcast, but we don't schedule when we're going to budget. So that's so important to do. And now with a lot of online shopping going on, we actually shop, for the most part, once a month. We shop once a month online, and we shop once a month in the store. And that actually helps because it's much easier to track your budget that way.
Oh, yes. I usually shop once a month in the store, but online, I don't. However, I have an online number. So if I see that I hit a certain number, I just don't make any other purchases until it's the next month. That really helps me because I love autonomy, just having the freedom to say, oh, that's a good deal, or, oh, I really need that. But I do have a percentage or a limit. And then if I'm wanting to go over that limit, we do have a little meeting. We talk about pennies, which I know can seem very trivial to people, but I do think like it makes me feel like there's a huge trust there, so that if there was a decision made outside, like without my input, I know what you would make the decision about, and it possibly would be the same decision I would make. So I think, not that I'm encouraging that, but I just think sometimes there's an emergency or something that happens. You kind of want to know that your spouse or your accountability partner or whoever's supporting you kind of have the same insight as you. And I think that's really the power of a financial coach, is you could totally have an accountability partner, but if they're a shopaholic, no offense, it's not going to go not going to go well for you.
Whereas as a financial coach, I have to tell people hard things sometimes. And, sometimes your friend can't do that, but your financial coach can. And obviously in loving kindness, but at the same time, holding you to what you want to be. Financial coaching is all about getting you to where you want to be, so that you can live and give in a way that is just a blessing.
I think that's super powerful. I stumbled upon Dave Ramsey like years ago, but before I had stumbled upon him, I was already working to get out of debt. It was just like, sometimes in life, a switch turns on and you're like, I need to tackle this. I don't see this going away. And I had all the symptoms, you're stressed out, you're thinking about money. When my husband would say, hey, I treated this person to lunch, I would like cringe inside, I'm like, oh no. And I thought, I don't want to live life like that. That pattern scared me, right? Because I thought I should respond like, oh, wow, that's so nice of you. They were having a bad day, but I was not responding that way. I was freaking out, right? And so that was kind of like through my debt snowball plan of my own, I found Dave Ramsey. And it was super helpful to have the support, just other people, because I was very young. I was early 20s. So that's like a concept that a lot of other, in my circle, they were not trying to do that. I'm not saying they were wrong or anything, but I didn't have any support. So it is just to think of having a financial coach, I probably would have gotten, my goal accomplished a lot sooner. And I know for those out there that are thinking I'm in debt and I'm going to pay for someone to help me, absolutely, right? I'm going to just tell you that sometimes when you don't know the way, it is super important to find someone that has dedicated themselves, their family, their lives, their time to helping you. When it's so hard to find people that genuinely want to help you win, and they're more than worth the time for that. So I just think the support alone, there's so much evidence on the benefits of a accountability partner or mentor, coach, or and just support. It's staggering, like to see like, whoa, that's how much time I could stop
Yeah.
wasting. Yes, it really does, help. And then to have someone objective that says, hey, all I want to do is see you win. It cuts through a lot of emotions and the psychological story that we tell ourselves behind money, which honestly, depending on your childhood, could be really messed up, right? You got to set a new foundation, and you might have two different foundations that you're trying to build on kids.
All right, that's another episode in the books. Hello? Hello? I said it's over. Why are you still listening? Like, seriously, the episode is over. If you're still listening right now, you know what? You're probably a chronic procrastinator. Guess what? I'm still listening too. Come on, for real, seriously. We gotta go do something productive. No, like for real. No, for real, for real. Okay, you can keep listening.